Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. This is your friend Noe. I know I've been away for a while, but I was feeling quite under the weather, and it was getting difficult for me to breathe and to speak, and so I couldn't do a video, but I'm feeling a lot better now, doing a lot better now, and so here I am. In this video today, I do want to discuss the division that is damning society. Now, the biggest problem we have today is everybody wants to be great. They want to be loved by thousands and thousands of people that they don't know. But as long as they can get thousands of views on their videos on the multitude of platforms, video viewing platforms, then this gives them the false sense of I'm somebody and I know it all. And this translates into their fan base. Their fan base starts to think the same way. Well, look, this guy gets 650,000 views on all of his platforms, so, he's right. But they refuse to research the truth for themselves. This stems from about 50 years ago. Back in starting into the 70s, they started what we know as the dumbing down of society. They have taken and they have made people to the point where they think because they couldn't do it today, or they can't do it today, or to them it's just not logical that it could be done. But you have to look at the laziness of people today. People will not research things for themselves. People will not even do for themselves today. They want everybody else to do it for them. They want everybody else to do it for them. They want somebody to say, okay, you have to do A, B, C, and D, and this is how you survive when everything goes to pieces and when the government tries to take control. Because they do not have the intelligence level left anymore to think about how to do it for themselves, or even the skill level to do it for themselves. But what this has led to, it's even when you come to the Bible and you come to the teachings of the Bible, I really get such a kick out of these people that they're carrying on. And they're saying, well, see, all of this stuff was told and foretold in the book of Revelation, and it talks all about these days that will come and these atrocities in this perilous time. But then in the next breath, they're mocking and cutting down the Bible, saying, well, how can you believe the Bible anyway? Because the Bible was translated by a king. Do you trust a king? See? So they contradict themselves. But it doesn't matter, because what these people are doing is they're feeding the trolls, so to say. They are trying to get all sides and all people to look at them of what they're saying is the truth and it's factual. And they feed on that so-called popularity. Now, what has this led to? A lot of us know about the Georgia Guidestones that were they had to be demolished because somebody or some entity or a false flag or whatever it was, who knows? But they blew up one of the pillars. These are tens of thousands of pounds apiece. The whole Georgia Guidestone pillars and with the cap and the foundation platforms is 241,000 pounds. That's a lot of weight. So if one pillar is blown up and you have a 30,000-pound cap stone on the top, this whole structure now is unstable. And it could be a hazard to people around, but they tore it all down. Now, this is where the ignorance of people and the uneducated aspect of society today comes into play. Within a week or so, yes, there were photoshopped surveillance footage and all kinds of different things, and people all want to have their 15 minutes of fame of, look what I broke, and look, here's a shadow. But the thing can be picked apart within 10 minutes flat, that it's fake, and that somebody fabricated it. But that's not the key. The key is a lot of people started saying, see, look, they dug up the Georgia Guidestones in the platform, and there was no time capsule. But yet, there is a time capsule. Now look at this photo right here. As you see this photo, for me looking at it, it's on my left. Now, you see the Guidestones in the middle, the pillars and the capstone, and in the big shadow, and there's your Guidestones. Now, to the left of that picture on the ground, there is a plaque. On this plaque tells about the Guidestones, when it was made, how much each one weighs and each piece weighs, and when it was erected. And if you take a screenshot from Google Earth, where this is what I did here, and you draw down and you zoom in on it, you will see on the bottom it's kind of wore out, and weather and stuff has worn it out and worn down the lettering, but it tells all the languages that were on the Guidestones. These Guidestones were, yes, the globalist, the Illuminati, whatever you want to call them. It doesn't matter. That's immaterial. But it was their 10 commandments of what they wanted to do to society, and how they were going to control society, and how society was going to bow down to them because they see themselves as gods. There is no God to them. They are the gods, and we will control all of you. But yet people are so dumbed down, they had no idea that under that plaque to the left, as on this picture, as you see right here, to the left, that plaque is the time capsule. The time capsule was not underneath the Guidestones. It was to the left of the Guidestones. Or if you're standing in the parking lot looking at the Guidestones, it would be to your right. Now, they done this because the size of the capsule itself, your time capsule, the walls and everything, the thing would have to be so strong and so massive just to withstand the weight of 241,000 pounds of granite. So the time capsule was put to the side. It was not underneath the Guidestone. But see, people don't understand that. So there you go. That's what happens with people today, because they don't research stuff for themselves, which, yes, I do understand that with the censorship and the way the internet is today, it's almost impossible to find facts anymore because it's not on there. And we all know that how the internet is. If you search something, the first thing there is Wikipedia. And Wikipedia is nothing but propaganda and lies. Wikipedia posts on the internet for people to look at 90% fabrication, propaganda, and indoctrination, with 10% fact. They always put it there because people are so superficial today. They look at the first 10, 15 results of their search, and that is their truth. But those first 10 to 15 results for any search, 90% of it's a lie. 90% of it's indoctrination. 90% of it is fabricated. Because this is what they want you to believe. And yes, we have 50% of the population of America that will believe anything they're told. The other 50%, sadly, are believing what opinionated theory from people that get, well, they're such a nice person. It doesn't matter how nice a person is. If they don't have facts and they're just putting out their opinion and claiming that it's fact, then you're being lied to and you're being deceived. Now, what do I mean by this? Of how people are being deceived today to why we're being divided. I had a conversation with a friend of mine, or I guess you can call this person a friend, but this person was getting very belligerent and mocking and downright nasty because I would not believe this person when they're telling me something that, well, I'm not going to believe that because I can read the Bible for myself and I know for a fact that, yes, God did create mankind. And it's right here, Genesis Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. Reads this way. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. That's pretty cut and dry. But the problem is, because of all the lunacy that is on the internet today, people don't even believe in the Bible anymore. This person, I've been studying this Bible my whole life and I know. But the things coming out of this person's mouth and mocking me and badgering me, trying to shame me into believing exactly what this person was saying, was very annoying. Because I guess now I'm not supposed to believe in the Bible because, well, the Bible was interpreted and translated by a king. And because of these people on YouTube, I mean, there were so many other things that this person was badgering me about that I was very annoyed, and I just ignored it. It went in one ear and out the other, because I wasn't going to listen, because I felt sorry that this person was being so belligerent and so nasty about it. Because I understand and I know where this person gets this belief from. And it comes from these people on YouTube. Like you're watching this one right here. Some of you are watching it right here on you. And this is what has happened. And it is a shame that this happens. Because people, they don't want to research anything anymore. I have asked so many people, send me the proof. Where is the proof? You take and you find the proof and you send it to me. And you know what they send me? A link to somebody's YouTube video. The lunacy of flat earth. What do? They send me somebody's YouTube video. Right. Many things I don't even have an opinion on. I couldn't care less what people are occupying their time with. The world is being destroyed right around us. And now because of this lunacy, I really feel sorry for these people that don't even realize we are living in reality. You can step outside and you look at the trees and you look at the air, the sky, the mountains, the ground, the formation of everything. That is reality. What is not reality is what man has created and what man makes you think. You got people out there telling thousands of others that we're living in some fabricated reality that don't exist. Oh, these trees, or these trees and everything, look how perfect these trees are. Well, God was perfect. God is perfect. When God created something, he created it perfect. Look at the human body. Look at the human body, the way everything is perfect in its design. Everything functions perfectly in its design. But who is it that messes with that true design? Man does. Man messes with that perfect design. Because if you were to stick with that perfect design, you wouldn't have trillions of dollars yearly spent on health issues, pharmaceutical drugs. You wouldn't have all this. You wouldn't have this stuff happening because we're sticking with God's design. I'm sure we would still have diseases and illnesses because that's what God's done. There's reasons behind it. When you look at nature as a whole that God designed, it doesn't even matter the top of the food chain, the top predator. They may not, the top of the food chain, the top predator may not have a predator that will go after it to keep its numbers in check, but their lifespan, the lifespan of a wolf or a bear, this is what stops this top predator from overwhelming everything else, is because they don't have the longevity. Even insects have a very short lifespan, because if insects lived for years and years and years and years, then the damage they could do to God's creation could be unreversible. But for these insects, you have insects that eat other insects. You have birds that eat insects. You have spiders that eat insects. So even with the numbers that these insects reproduce, it is because they have a very short lifespan. So they do not overwhelm the ecosystem. That's how God created the earth. That's how God created us. I've been asked questions before of, well, how is it that Adam and Eve, they lived 800-900 years, and Noah lived 800 years, and Abraham 400 to 500 years? It's because their bloodlines and their gene pools were pure at that time. So as you come forth through time, look at God's ultimate design. The more that we go forth and prosper and reproduce and create more human beings, and yes, our gene pool, our bloodlines become more and more contaminated and unpure, then our lifespan got shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. So with a shorter human lifespan, This is how the human race could never overwhelm the earth, because our lifespan got shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter, to the point where we are having as many pass away as are being born. So when you look at what these globalists and what these people that see themselves as God are saying, that we, overpopulation, that's a lie. It's because they want to control you. It's because they don't want to have to see the production of food, the production of housing, the production of many different kinds of aspects of our lives today. They don't want to have to produce it. They want to sit back and they want to live this elaborate lifestyle, and they want to have about 500 million slaves, and the rest of you have to die. And that's what we're seeing today. But I'll tell you this, long before they so-called win the day, God will win. The sun shall return, and that'll be the end of all of it. God will end Satan's reign upon this earth. And my only concern today with people is that they're losing their salvation. They're losing their truth. They're losing their soul. Why? Because they are putting their faith in someone else. Their belief today comes from somebody that, oh, well, they're such a nice person. I'm not saying they're not a nice person, but what they're telling you is not true. We are living in reality, if you want to accept that reality or not. This earth is real. What man is doing to it is not real. Just because government and media and everything lie to you, and we know they're lying to us, doesn't mean everything is a lie. Just because King James translated the Bible from Greek to English does not mean it's a lie. Does not mean it's fake. It was because when you look at the Tower of Babel, God scattered mankind to the far reaches of the earth, and he changed their language. So in order for you today to have a Bible as your guiding principles and morals and values for your life, it needs to be in the language that you know. Mine is English, so I have an English Bible. In Russia, it's Russian, so they have a Russian language Bible. China, for the people that are still allowed, they have a Chinese language Bible. See? Spanish, whatever. Hindu, whatever. This is it. It's in our language. That doesn't make it false. That doesn't make it deceptive. But so many people live with such an ego today. They do not realize they are condemning their own soul. Because if you don't want to believe in a king could do the right thing for God's glory, then I guess you don't believe in the ending of Daniel, when a pagan, an evil, human sacrifice pagan king from Persia named Cyrus. What did Cyrus do? Cyrus saw the power and authority of what he called Daniel's God. That he allowed the Hebrew people, today's Jewish people, to travel back and rebuild their temple in Jerusalem. Because even today, I hate to break it to you, there was never, ever a Palestine. Never. Palestine did not exist. The word Palestine came from a Roman. Israel was created by God thousands of years ago. It was his promised land, and it was given to his people. It doesn't matter what the Jewish people today are doing to others in the world, because other classes or races or whatever you want to say of people are doing the same atrocities. The Jewish people will be judged by God, just like the Gentile will. Why is Israel in such turmoil today? Because they turned their back on God, just as they did in the time of Jesus. Why was Jesus put to death? Because he was a threat to the authority of the Pharisees and the scribes that had put their faith in themselves and had lost that faith with God and had lost that covenant with God. And we see the same thing today. So you can believe whatever you want to believe, and you can claim free will all you want, but you will be judged according to the choices you make. God cannot intervene into man's free will. Man must choose freely, hence free will. But you will be judged on those choices that you make. You know, on Judgment Day, you're not going to stand there before God and before Christ and, oh, well, you gave us free will. Yeah, we gave you free will to make your own choices, and you chose wrong. See, to do right and to be a righteous person is to do the right thing when you have the freedom to do the wrong thing. That's what free will is. So if you are faced with a choice and you do the wrong thing, and you kind of know it's the wrong thing that you did, but, well, I'm still saved and I'm still good because, well, God gave me free will. God can intervene. If God intervenes in man's free will, then Satan wins. And that's how it works. So, it's time that you start thinking for yourself and stop putting your faith in other people, because you will be condemned for your choices and your wrong way of thinking of things, all because, well, this is what this person said and I like this person. So I think for myself, I study for myself, I learn for myself. Nobody but nobody can badger me, insult me, or shame me to think the way they think. That's not how I am. If you can't prove it to me with the Bible, then don't bother. Because I'm not going to watch some YouTube video or some person's website or some sweet talker. I'm going to study it for myself. So, be safe out there, ladies and gentlemen. Things are getting bad. And things are... Hello, my little puppy. So, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, this is No Way Out.